Do we get autoimmune disease because of the anxiety and stress, or you got stressed and anxiety because of the autoimmune disease? What is the relation there?
I think it can be both, Um, I think not knowing what you have is the biggest battle. Once you know what you have, then you take the meds or you do a lifestyle change and you can get better, right? The most anxiety comes in when you're like, I know there's something wrong with me, but I don't know what it is. Having said that, I believe autoimmune is caused by stress and also trauma. I'm a big believer in your body storing all of that. In fact, like I follow this guy, Mate. He's a really good professor as well, and I've even looked at it, and he said, the people who are most likely to get autoimmunes are one of those who are the very nice people, the people pleasers, right? Because they don't have their boundaries and they keep saying yes to everything, and they put their needs before anyone else's needs, right? So they're always stuck. And when they do that, they get more stressed out, they take a lot of more stress. So, that's also like, I feel like drawing your own boundaries, being very selfish with your time, knowing what's good for you. Those are very important things that I've learned now, actually. So, but going back to where I was talking about when I got diagnosed, so I was put on steroids. Without really being given information, I was given no information. In fact, when I got diagnosed with pemphigus vulgaris. Like I said, it's blisters all over the body, and it's 1 in 3 million, so it's very rare, which is why she wanted to take a picture as well. But when I asked her what it is, she literally said, Google it.
Okay.
So now, the problem with Google is that if you Google anything, everything leads to death almost, So I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And at that time, actually, because my pemphigus had spread so much, I had a very, very high chance of actually not being able to overcome this. In fact, it was about 70%, So she put me on a very, very high dosage of steroids. And every day I had never really taken such intense medicines, right? Without being given any information. Every day I would wake up with a new sort of side effect, if I would sleep at all, because steroids gives you insomnia, like severe insomnia. So I would sleep for 2 hours a day, if at all, so I was going berserk as well. Then I started putting on a lot of weight. I started bloating, it started from my face.
That was because of the steroid that you're taking.
All because of my, and then my stomach started coming out, and I used to be quite a small, like I was never fat because I was always athletic, and then I got yeast infections. I became so big at one point, my knees couldn't take it. So there were days I couldn't walk because I'd never been, that big. And when you're tapering down from steroids, then you have the emotional side of it, because steroids in some ways kind of makes you happy, I think it does something for your hormones as well. And then when you're tapering down, you become depressed and sad, So I would cry over like the stupidest things. I remember I'd be at work as well, and there'd be tears coming out, and my team would be like, what's wrong, Seh? And I'm like, just ignore me. I don't even know why I'm crying. So it was quite like a hellish experience to be on steroids, And in the beginning, no one understood it, because I would wake up and I'd be, I'd try to make plans with my friends and whatnot. But by evening, my side effect became so bad that I was like, no, I'm not, I can't come out. And a lot of my friends were like, oh, she's become so flaky. But I don't think people understand what you're going through till it doesn't show on your body. Or, when I started putting on the weight, then they're like, oh, I see what you're going through.